This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Do we go public with the cameras on the cars now?
Some of them have them. Dashboard cams.
No, dude. Public. Like they're live. Like anyone can see. That way.
You know what? That would keep people in line.
That way, nothing can be hidden from anybody.
And
you know
anybody could just, you could have a nonpartisan group watching film all day long, and as soon as something happens, you're on the beat and getting to it quick. You know what?
Hey, listen, they're trying to put the sky judge in the NFL to but the NFL's kind of backed away from that. Wussies, like always. Anyway, and so you want maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a watchdog society watching the cops. Maybe their uniforms and their cars have to have cameras that are live, and that there's a third party that is watching those cameras all the time. That's it.
Go old school. It'll keep you on your best P's and Q's.
Well,
if you know you're being watched all the time.
I'm just saying, we got to do something, right? And if good cops aren't willing to police the bad cops, pun intended, then we've got to come up with a third party. That's it. And you've got a group of individuals that are sitting inside a room, and they've got all the cameras, all the cars out there. And you've got a group of individuals in every town that watch what goes on every day. And they're recording it, and they track it, and that's it. Because, too many times, the body cam, we can't see this angle, that. They give you all this BS, and that the video doesn't exist and all. And come on, man. Come on. And that's the problem. So until we get to a point of transparency, which is something they're not willing to be, see, the problem with police departments is we can't trust them because we know that there's a bunch of good cops, but unfortunately the good cops have been turning their face and not pointing out the bad cops. So then that means you have now earned a level of distrust. So maybe the politicians and the police have to come to an agreement and say, well, you know what? We're going to police you guys. And now your cameras in your car and on your person are going to be live. And there's going to be a third party watching everything going on. Okay? That's all. I'm not talking about publicly broadcasted out on YouTube and Joe Fan can just chime in and check it. No, I'm not. Because, the cops have to make a living and they have to, they're driving around. And if there's two cops in a car, they got to talk about life or whatever. We don't need to hear about that. That's their own conversations, whatever. But the second that that the lights come on and that there's somebody pulling someone over, or there's some kind of an exchange, that's when everything is on the table. Okay? We don't need to hear about, oh man, I'm not getting along with Susie. We're really fighting a lot. And the partner's giving you advice in life, what you do with your best friends. We don't need to hear any of that crap, okay? We all have our own lives. We all have our own personal issues and highs and lows and all that. We don't need to, plenty of personal conversations are going on. We don't need to be a part of that. But if you're pulling somebody over, we need to be a part of that. Because unfortunately, we can't trust you. So every camera should be able to be recorded by a third party. That's all. Pretty simple. And if you're doing your job, you got nothing to hide, right? That's all. And all of these things being recorded is good for the cops anyways, because these are all training things that they can do, because Every situation is different. And you always come up with different things that you can then add on to your training. But you got to come up with something. Something's got to be done because you can't trust the situation. And right now, we can't trust the good cops to turn in the bad cops. So, since we can't trust you to police yourselves, we have to police everybody. That's all. Cameras in the jails, cameras in the cars, cameras anywhere where there could be, wrongdoing by police officers. And that will also keep the police officer in check too. Because when they know they're being recorded, they know that they gotta act, straight up. Now, I don't have all the answers because how do you know somebody is a racist? You know what I mean? That's going to be really hard because it's not like cops come in and then they apply and they say, oh, well, by the way, I hate Puerto Ricans. By the way, I can't stand homosexuals. Did you know I can't stand Asians? That kind of, they're not putting that on their resume. And in the interview, well, I have a little bit of this descent. I hate these kind of people. No, it's not like that's happening in the interview. And racists hide behind all kinds of veils. And they do it as police officers. And they're judges, and they're prosecutors, and they're councilmen, and they're senators, and they're teachers, and they're politicians, and they're everything. We've got racists everywhere. But they all hide, right?